All right. We need flashing and sealant pretty much between all joints. The chimney over here looks like it's actively leaking. That's definitely actively leaking. That's in the kids' room. Needs to be flashed around and sealed properly. We also have that here. This is a flat roof style. We have a lot of cracking and failure. The soffits they did here are kind of like homemade, and long story short, they have issues in the vent all the way around it. We have another skylight that looks like if it's not leaking, it's about to. The front of the house actually looks pretty decent. Doesn't have any major issues going on. Here we have an issue when it comes to leaking for sure. This is crazy. There's a gap that needs a piece of flashing between it, and more or less a sealant, and this needs flashing all the way down. That another piece needs flashing all the way across. You see the moss growing. That's because moisture is being held where it's not supposed to be. This roof up here was done on top of a failed deck, which is these valleys right here you're seeing, and that residual moisture being held. But that's not leaking yet. It's just holding water, which further rots situations. This is what's leaking actively right now. That joint's failed all the way across. Particularly this exact section is what you're seeing actually leak. That's falling onto the drywall and running down. And that's just where you happen to see it. The corner has a little issue, needs another little piece. Which there's a couple things we can do here. One of which is to foam and pad this to bring it back up to elevation for now. Which is what I recommend. This we need to slide a new piece of shingle in. These need flashing and sealing. These need to be repaired that are obviously hanging. And a piece of flashing put in all the way on both sides of this vent so that it holds. This needs to be wrapped. Need a piece of flashing and wrap. It might end up being that's a piece of what is called burn down. It's just rubber sheeting. They really don't even use a flame on it anymore. But when it's said, I mean, we do, but not burning it all over the roof. It's just the joints. Need a new seal around your vent, that gutter cleaned, and the stuff over there. Other than that, and I'll explain the rest, just to give you a visual of what's going on. That's actually interior wood sticking out, which is a big issue. Other than that, that's what's probably going on here. The front of the roof looked okay. It looks like they had a lot of issues and came up and threw something over it to cover it, thinking that they would sell the house, and that's what they did. So